If you don't know me, my name is Celeste. I'm a certified image consultant, and I help entrepreneurs master and discover their own unique style. And today I have Silvana Favaretto talking about confidence and how you can really master that through your emotional intelligence. So thank you, Silvana, for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, I feel really honored to have you. And especially as an emotional intelligence coach, it's so tied into confidence and how we show up as entrepreneurs, as women, as people, even going through everyday lives. So I would love to hear from you. When did you first realize the power of your own voice?
I think I first realized the lack of power in my own voice and the struggles that I had to express myself and get what I want, make things happen in a way that I was feeling fulfilled. I was always struggling. I felt like I was trying so hard to get the things that I wanted and I wasn't getting. So that's when I started studying myself and my inner voices, my inner child, my programming, all the things that made me who I was and where my limitations were. So then eventually I started making small moves, even because you don't build confidence in one step. It's gradually working on yourself and believing in yourself and doing the hard things and take bold moves. And that's how you build confidence.
I love that you said that. And thank you for sharing your story, because it's really about taking action. You know, we can do the work and look inward and do the work and keep working. But I think a lot of people, and I don't know if you've experienced this, but a lot of things that I deal with my clients is like, perfectionism. I'm going to work on this until I can I'm going to be perfect one day. And there's no such thing as perfection.
There's no such a thing. No.
Yeah. It's like taking those, like you said, the bold moves, the steps to get to, it could just be one step in front of the next. Like you said, it takes time.
Yeah. There's no perfection. We are always striving to get to our best selves. Mm-hmm. We're always trying to get to a point where we want the next level we want it to be a little better. But there's nothing that we are going to achieve that's going to be like so perfect that nothing is going to be better than that. It's okay to not be perfect. And if we wait for us to be perfect, we're never going to do anything.
Yeah, it never happens.
It never happens.
There's no such thing as perfectionism, guys. It really paralyzes you. So,
and what is perfect? For me, it might be perfect. For you, yeah. It's completely not. And if I keep this ideal in front of me where, I have to achieve that to be happy, to be successful, then you're never living in the moment. So you're just living your life in that little gold star ahead of you, where you're not living the moment, missing all the really amazing things that life and people can give you, and that will make you happy. Because this idea of perfection is this idea that if I get that, I'll be happy. I'll finally be happy. But you can just be happy right now with what you have.
Yeah, I love that. So if someone is lacking confidence and they need help with, getting to this level that they can be successful in, what are some of the tips or some steps that you can give them here to help them maybe just move in that direction?
I think the first step is think of who is in your head. Is that you that want to achieve something so you can be happy? Or is that your parents? Or is that society standards? Or is that all your friends are doing that so you think you need to catch up to them? Like, I think a lot of times we're not happy, we're not confident because we're not listening to our true voice. We have everybody else's voices in our head.
Okay.
So first step in recognizing who is speaking to yourself in your head and trying to find your authentic inner voice.
Yeah, I love that. And I think so many people don't know their authentic inner voice because you're right. We listen to society and social media and what we think our parents wanted for us. And I talk a lot about this because, my goal and direction was to go to law school or go to med school. And when I was like, no, I'm not going to do that, because that ultimately did not make me sing inside. Like I was not passionate about it.
Yeah, I think you make a big point here. I think there's so many people living a life that they don't love because they're afraid to get out of that role that they put themselves in. And maybe they did it because of their parents, the family, the friends, but ultimately you put yourself in that position, and you have the power to take yourself out of that position and move towards a life that you actually love. And it's so fascinating and sad to see so many people living a life that they actually don't love. They're just playing a role. And like, we gotta recognize, it's like, am I playing a role here? Am I really doing what I love?
Yeah, I love that. So give me an example of a client that will come to you, some scenario, like break down the process, the steps in which you would take to really help them, discover maybe what they're truly meant to do in this life.
Any type of self-development course or coach is amazing, or a book. People that look into themselves and wanting to work on themselves and be better, I think they're already ahead in their lives. When they come to me, I worked mainly with women entrepreneurs, and usually they are already in that journey of, there's something about myself that I know I can be better, and there's a part of me that I don't understand and I need help understanding, because sometimes you can work on yourself for a long time by yourself, but your blind spots are your blind spots. Sometimes you need someone else. That's why sometimes you need a coach to point that out to you. So that's when they come to me, so I can see the things that are right in front of them, but they don't see it because it's blind to them. And so many things are blind to us. So I take them on this discovery. First is this phase of where you are in your life right now. In recognizing where you are. No judgment. No, but I'm not. No, it's where you are, and everything's perfect. And you want it to be better. So in order for you to be better, you have to uncover those blind spots, the shadow work, the inner child work, the programmings that you've been conditioned your entire life that you haven't talked in that level yet. So we start to recognizing those programmings and make a plan to what is your goal moving forward. And that's the next phase is, work towards that goal by uncovering all those programmings of the unconscious bias that you have and your mistaken beliefs about yourself and the world, so you can have a better life and be a better self and be more confident and achieve whatever you want in your life.
Yeah, I love that, because it's so important. It's what I do with my clients in a very different way, but it's what are their goals and how can we get to the place that they want to go and be? And it comes from that confidence. And, when this suit right here, this is my power suit. This is my confidence suit. I create it strategically so that I would put that suit on, and all of that, the insecurities, all the talk in my head, all that chitter chatter just went away.
Yeah.
And so, yes, you obviously have to do the inner work, people. I'm not saying a suit's going to make that all go away.
Yeah.
But it's part of the process.
Yes. Yeah. But there are strategies that you can put in place, and new wardrobe, but there are strategies for you to get to the next level. I have the Bold Bombshell Club, and I came up with the name because we're bosses, you make things happen. And bombshell, because we're feminine, you were fashion, you were sexy. And I think it's the best combination. We don't have to be a boss and be like a man and be our masculine energy all the time.
Yeah.
And we can embrace the femininity, the fashion. That's why I love the work that you do, because, it's not just vain, it's your self-expression. It's how you present yourself to the world. And the more you love yourself, the more you're going to put more time and intention how you're going to present yourself, not for other people, but for yourself and how you want to feel.
Yeah. No, I love that so much because it's really like defining and discovering that about yourself. And the more you do that and like who you are, the more empowered you are. And so tell me a little bit more about how did you create this Bold Bombshell Club? Like, what was it? I know you want women they can be bosses and in their femininity, and it's okay to have both. They don't have to be the masculine.
Yeah.
What was kind of the story behind creating this, or what is the goal?
Yeah. So a little quick story is I felt like I checked all the boxes. I checked the boxes. I was working in an amazing agency. I had the perfect boyfriend on paper. I had living in a high rise, going out for dinner, having girlfriends, but I wasn't happy. I had box. And I realized that all the boxes was for other people and not me. So it was already doing a lot of emotional intelligence work, and I wanted to be more connected with my inner child. So I created this project called 100 Days of Tool. I wore tweed skirts every day for 100 days to bring out my child, the child inside of me and my femininity.
I love that.
And it became a thing. And I started hosting events for women to bring them together. And I saw women that are achieving so many amazing things, and I wanted to be around them more. So I decided to create events and happy hours and fundraisers and dinner parties, and it became a thing. I started in Chicago, and that's when I started speaking. I got a couple awards for empowering women, and it was really amazing. I mean, like thinking about it, I can't believe like that was me. And that it was such a beautiful phase. Then I moved to LA, and I'm slowly building the club here, and I want to find ways to build it online because I think we all need to be around each other. And I did it with the project. I always talked about like I'm a bold person, and my family, my friends always knew of me as bold. I always made decisions that they always considered bold. So I claimed myself to be bold, but I realized that it was too much of my masculinity, that I needed to integrate the femininity. And what I've realized, the women that I coached, is that there were the women that was boss and strong and powerful and the pantsuit type of women but they lacked the femininity. And then I knew women that are sexy and feminine and gorgeous inside and out, but they didn't know how to make decisions and they were insecure. And I thought that the way is combining those two, get the bold and get the femininity and combine so we can be sexy and feminine and sweet and calming and still have confidence and be bold. And it doesn't have to be one or another.
Yeah, I love that so much because I think you are right, because there are a lot of, we're putting this masculine energy by society and, to be a boss in this world, right? We have to, do the man thing and step up and, take control and do all the things, but we can do that. And I feel confident in pants. It's interesting. I'm wearing 3 different skirts today, doing 3 different events, and I'm like not that big into skirts. And wow. It's interesting, but who knew that I'd be wearing feminine for you? Like it's not crazy. Yeah. You look amazing. But thank you. I think it's really important for women to know that you can have both.
Yeah.
And I love that you teach that.
Yeah, you can have both. And I think a lot of strong women have a hard time letting go of the guard and be on their feminine nature.
So you said you're a speaker.
Yes.
How do you get ready for stage? What is your, pre-game, if you will, for stage?
That's very good question. So depending on I talk to like very intimate group of women, like 20 in a round table and to like 2,000 people on a panel. And outside of doing the research necessary to talk to the type of people that are going to be there and the topic, etc., I feel like for me is internal voice, is that confidence that I know the fact that if someone is a speaker and it's invited to be a speaker, they already belong there. There is no doubt. You don't sit there and think, oh, do I belong? Am I going to be good enough? And you're already good enough, period. They invited you.
Yeah.
You're already at the table. That's like when you come from there, there's nothing you can say wrong because they already vetted you there.
Yeah.
And if you make a mistake, you just embrace it and I make comic jokes and
It's good.
I love that. I will just, if I trip, I'll make a joke about that. And you just embrace it and being our authentic self. And I think when we are too much in our head and worrying so much of how they're going to look at us, we lose ourselves a little bit more. It's how can I serve them?
Yeah.
What kind of value can I give, to you, to our audience today? That's what I'm thinking right now versus like, oh, do I look good or not? I mean, my hair is a little flat. I'm missing a nail. It's
kidding.
But fine. But like, how can you be authentic? How can you be, yourself and knowing that you already belong there?
Yeah. I love that point too.
Yeah.
So tell me about some of the fashion choices that you make before. Let's say you're speaking to the 2,000 people crowd.
Yes.
I want to hear how you decide what are you going to wear on stage.
I think you wear on stage something that a little bit more wow.
Okay.
And but it also has to do with your branding. I go to some red carpet events here in LA once in a while. And I always ask this one friend, and she tells everybody, it's like, you don't dress for the event. You dress for how your videos and pictures, you want your videos and pictures to look like. You dress for you. You don't dress for anybody else. And I think if you have a solid branding, I'm all about personal branding, your branding to be on point because it's also the way you express yourself. If you have a solid branding, you will dress to that branding more and stop worrying about what other people are going to think or how you need to dress. Obviously, if it's like a real estate event versus like a women's event, it's a little different. I would dress a little bit more, conservative for the real estate event and maybe a little more flair and sparkle and tulle for the women's event.
Yeah.
But as long as I think the biggest rule is you feel comfortable. Because if you feel comfortable, you are going to feel confident. Like if you look in the mirror and you feel comfortable and confident about yourself, when you look in the mirror, you're going to feel comfortable and confident when you're on stage.
Yeah. I do love those points. Even though you say that if you're on point with your brand, then it doesn't matter. But I think even what I'm hearing from you is that you would dress differently if you were at a real estate event versus your beautiful, bold group.
Yeah.
That you have feminine women and entrepreneurs. You can be a little bit more expressive and feminine. And still, this is wonderful, guys, because I want you to hear this again. And if you haven't heard this, you always dress for your audience, but the message you want to portray.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because my way of dressing for a real estate is still going to be a little bit more feminine and fun.
Because that's your style.
That's my style.
Yeah.
So I'm still true to myself.
Yes. That's very important.
Yeah.
You have to be.
Yes. And that's the only way you can feel confident on the stage, because if you're faking it there, your message is not going to come across.
Right, right. So if you can master and discover and master your own unique style, then no matter what audience you're going to be speaking in front of, you know that that's going to work because that's truly authentically you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think the only job that we have is to be more of ourselves. And I think part of the confidence training that I help women develop is how can you be more of who you are? Because so many of us have been what other people want us to be.
Yeah.
And that comes across in the way we speak, the way we stand, the way we dress, and everything.
Nonverbal, verbal communication. Yes, it's so
Important.
huge.
Yeah.
You can walk in a room and not say anything, but you're messaging from head to toe.
Your energy.
Yep.
It's so important.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because color is energy, first and foremost. So what color you're wearing, and you talk about this, you're wearing pink today. Why did you choose pink? I'm just curious.
I love pink.
Okay. Why do you love pink? I'm just yeah.
It's very feminine. I like every shade of pink.
Okay.
I think it's feminine. I think it matches my complexion. I've never done the color theory. I really want to do it. But I feel like, I don't know, you can see my Instagram page. There's like all shades of pink there. I love black too, and I love white, but there's always like at least a little sparkle of pink.
Yeah, I love that. I like to just learn like what colors people are drawn to and why, and try to get to know them, because the first part of a color analysis or a style analysis is discovering your personality DNA.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So getting to know you more about how you speak, how you show up, the colors you're drawn to. There's so much in depth, but it's really trying.
Do you want to hear a fun fact?
Oh, yeah, please.
As when I was a kid, I was like the kid with glasses in front of the classroom.
Okay.
And I was the smart one of the smart ones. And I had kids coming to my house to learn before the test.
You with a tutor?
And I never wore pink because from really young age, I had this conception that if I wore pink and I was too girly, I wouldn't be smart. And I think that's why it's so important for me to be bold bombshell and wear pink today, because I can be both. I can be smart. I was so afraid to, even like 10 years old, to be judged as like a girly girl and not a smart girl. So now, even today, I see people judging me as the girly, sexy girl, and they have no idea that what I value the most is my brain, is how smart I am, and not like just my physical appearance and how I show up. And I think that's why it's like I wear pink today, maybe unconsciously, but I'm always so drawn to pink now that I didn't never wear it when I was a kid.
Wow, what a great story, because now you can truly be who you want to be.
Yeah.
And I'm sure didn't happen overnight, like you said. Like confidence takes time and digging in deep and doing the work.
Yes.
That's really where
being kind to yourself, because it's not easy. And I think if you're a woman today and you are working on yourself and trying to be confident, you're very bold, because it takes a bold woman to be confident and be authentic today and not fit into everybody's boxes.
That's very true. Okay, so give 3 tips to the audience today if they want to learn how to be bold and confident. What 3 tips would you give them to take action today to get to that bold and confident self?
Get the thoughts out of your head. Start journaling the thoughts that you have in your head, and recognize who are the people speaking to you, and separate their voices from your own true voice.
I love that.
That's, I think, one of the biggest one.
Okay.
The other one is, you know how you don't go to the gym and you start lifting really heavy weights, right?
Yeah.
You go and lift very little. So if you want to learn how to speak up and be confident and strong, you're not going to just like stand on a stage and start speaking to everybody, or stand up to your boss in front of the whole company and demand a salary. It can be like you're afraid to ask that person like to pass the salt at a table because they are higher up than you. And you be like, can I get the salt? And you just practice that. Just very small acts of expression, self-expression. Either is speaking up, maybe you don't want to wear pink in a big dress, maybe you just wear a bracelet that is, that makes you feel a little bit more feminine. And it's like those little steps, I think, very important for you to get to where you are. And it's like it's the little steps to get you to be confident and be more of yourself. And number 3, find people who are on the same journey as you. That is so important. And those people may not be your friends right now. It may not be your family. It may be a completely stranger that you meet and like online on a club, online club, like the Bold Bombshell Club, So find people that are doing the same thing so you can feel a little bit more confident of the steps that you're taking towards your bold, confident life.
I love that so much because I always say, get into the room that are with people that are on your same journey or that they've already attained that goal.
Yes, it's so important. Yeah. And you need to see other people doing what you wanted to do, and that will encourage you to get to the next level of your life.
Thank you. I hope you guys learned something from Silvana today. I know I did. How to be your confident, bold, beautiful self. And if you like today's episode, don't forget to subscribe and like if you want to hear more about image, fashion, and style tips. Thanks, guys.